Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite dark sorcerer here. And tonight, well, I should say this morning, since it's about 1:14 a.m. where I am. And I noticed while I was going through some of my notifications that somebody had asked if I would do a video on Euromynous. Now, personally, I have not worked with this spirit, even though this spirit is one of the 72 goetic demons. But this is one that I have not worked with. So I've delved into contemplation, I've delved into heavy meditation, summonings, to try to work with this being, to open up a repertoire with this spirit. Now, unfortunately, it did not go down like that, and my next video that I'll do after this, it will explain to you what actually occurred during that meditation, okay? But for this one, I went through a lot of grimoires, and I went through history and mythology, and kind of just to bring you the content about what the spirit is, okay, and how this spirit is viewed. Now, personally, I could not find very much upon this spirit, but the information that was gathered really did paint a portrait, so to speak, confirming certain attributes. Okay? Now, what's ironic is that he's referred to as the Prince of Death. And this you can find and read for yourself out of the Bible, specifically the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. And it is said that he is the bearer of the grand cross of the Order of the Flies. He appears both in black and blue, like a fly would. Okay? Now, you can actually go underneath a dictionary of angels to get this depiction. And this is on page 228. Okay? I believe it's Gustus Davison version, if I remember correctly. Eurymynous is also found in Greek literature. Okay? And this is where a wide variety of the literature literally is derived from. Okay? Now, in Greek literature or Greek lore, Eurymynous is a high-ranking entity, a spirit, a demon. And he resides in Hades. He literally works for Hades within his hierarchy. Okay? The oracles of Delphi described him as a flesh-eating demon who strips the corpses to their bones. Very interesting, because this was Greek geographer by the name of how should I say this? Pausanias, which was back in the 2nd to 5th century CE. Okay? And he basically described this being, just like I said, black and blue, just like a fly. Very interesting, because when we get into European demonolatry, We see him as being described again as the Prince of Death. The demonologist by the name of Charles Burbinger confirms both the cross of the fly and the Prince of Death. The less Farfadets and Clancy's Dictionary Infernal describes him as a being, how should I say this? What was that word he used? Oh, right. Canaan of demonolatry, meaning he was renowned. Now, very few demons have been classified as Canaan of demonolatry. He's holding high rank within the hierarchy. Even goes into, in some cases, the classification of sin, as in a being of sin, depending on who you look at and how you want to view this angel or this being, this demon. In some classifications, he's known as an angel, a fallen angel, very loyal to Lucifer. But yet, here we see him literally a bearer of the Grand Cross of the Order of the Fly, given to him by Beelzebub himself, for his loyalty and trust, his actions, okay, which basically link him to angelology, not just demonology. Now, what I found interesting is that when we get further into this, he has appeared in the painting known as the Assembly Room at Delphi. It is a 5th century painting by Polygenetos. Okay, and that's Polygnotos, for those of you who are curious on how to spell this painter's name. The Art of the Greeks by Beauchamp Walters. Now, this was the best description that I found. Describes him as a demon of savage aspect. Okay, savage aspect. The Lord of Death, the Prince of Death. But here we see him as described as a demon of savage aspect, who overlooks the river Acheron. And later in the same text refers to the demon who is said to devour the flesh of the dead in Hades. But what's ironic here is that most of these texts refer to him being an equal color of black and blue like a fly. But in this script, this one script, The Art of the Greeks, he is described as black and blue bottle fly, skin colored wise. Very fascinating, I might say. Very fascinating indeed. Now I'm going to continue looking for information on this spirit because I get the sense that we're just scratching the surface of who this spirit is, what this spirit is truly about. Because there seems to be in a lot of cases we're seeing the overlapping of information, while in other cases we're seeing conflicting attributes, such as being the demon who strips the corpse to the bone, meaning eating the flesh. Wherein the art of the Greeks, he is described as the devourer, the demon who devours the flesh of the dead. So the being is already dead when he's devouring them. But yet, according to this one text, he's he's literally stripping the flesh and the muscle and the cartilage away from the bones, the corpse. Doesn't it doesn't say if they're dead or they're alive. And I found this one here because it says as a flesh-eating demon who strips the corpse of the bone to the bone. Okay? Whereas this one here says a demon who is said to devour the flesh of the dead. Now, in some cases in older mythology, there are what is known as leech demons. Leech demons are those who basically are known as scavengers. Okay? These scavengers will scavenge whatever they can in tearing little bits of flesh off a corpse, be it living or dead. Now, it is said that these beings, in ironically Middle Eastern lore, was said to have some form of toxin or neurotoxin that literally paralyzed the victim so that the blood in the skin could be stripped away while they are living and they're literally being eaten to death in the same variation. So I wonder, does this spirit have any link to these scavengers? And if so, perhaps there's more to the story than just this. Okay. Now, like I said, you can actually go underneath look into the painting known as the Assembly Room at Delphi. You can go into the art of the Greeks. Okay. You can go into Charles Burbinger's account, European demonology, the less Farfadets, and you can go into Dictionary of Demons, a dictionary of angels, including the names of the fallen. Okay, by Gustus Davison and Michelle um, Belanger. Okay, these are just some of the texts that I got this being from. But you can also go into the grimoires as well, like the Goetia. All right, you got Dr. Rudd's Goetia. You've got the Lesser Keys of Solomon. Goetia. Okay, Michael W. Ford's Goetia, which deals also with pacts. Okay, you got certain grimoires over the last 500 years that have spoken on some account of who this being is. So, like I said, I do believe that there's more out there that was not spoken on. I do believe that there is more to the story of this demon, this angelic being, or whatever he is. For now, I'm going to refer to him as a scavenger because it sounds to me, just by what I've read about him, that he really is the Prince of Death. He has mastered the art of death, the art of dying. Okay? And it sounds to me like there's not much that he was not willing to do, which means somewhere in the past history, there are some links that have not been coordinated with the demonology and angelology aspects of grimoires. So I'm looking forward to digging into this, and I'll keep you updated on it as well. All right? Have a good day, and or good morning, night, wherever you are, and until next time.